Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to a special edition of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty, and we typically go on weekdays. Very busy week for me this week, so that's why you all did not see me this week, but we're here now, and there's no turning back. I'm going to get right into the show. It's Sunday. I know a lot of people are interested in watching other sports, such as professional football, and I'm not going to hold you all long. I'm not expecting a big audience. I am expecting at least one person to watch me by the name of Floyd Schofield Sr. He won't click the link, but he might be watching. So Floyd, if you are watching, you're going to hear a lot of things that I'm going to direct to you. If any of you know who he is and want to send this to him, this live, when it goes off, you want to send this to him, that's cool too. But I do know that there's 6 words that I say a lot. And most of you already know what those 6 words are. I don't say them together in a complete sentence, but you'll hear me say these 6 words throughout the live broadcast today. Roll the tape. That's the first 3 words. And we need answers. Because today, we're going to do a combination of rolling the tape and then asking for some answers. And of course, today we're going to discuss Boots Ennis, Jerron Boots Ennis, ducking Virgil Ortiz. I've been meaning to speak on this, but like I said, had a very busy week. And you know, over the weekends, typically on Saturdays, y'all know I don't go live, but Friday, I thought about speaking on a Friday, but I didn't go live on Friday. However, on Friday, though, what did happen on the Friday was some information came through my phone directly, okay? And it was a video, which I think at this point, everybody on YouTube is extremely familiar with the video of Floyd Schofield Sr. Physically threatening to blow a woman's head off and also physically assaulting this woman. It seemed as if this man, Floyd Schofield, was in a romantic relationship of some sort. Guess his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whoever she was to him at the time, and according to him, even now, that she's still his queen. And we're going to deal with that in just a few minutes. Because he made a public statement on this. And we're going to roll the tape on it. But I want to set the foundation for why we're here today. And when that information was given to me, sent to my phone, that video and audio with the video of, looks like Floyd Schofield Sr. was in the house with this woman, and they were having a dialogue, an argument ensued, and then Floyd Schofield Sr., he became very belligerent, highly upset, highly offended, and then he physically assaulted this woman. Well, he physically threatened her multiple times, and then he physically assaulted this woman, even choking this woman to the point where you can see on the camera, you know, she couldn't breathe. He did pick the woman back up to help her up, but subsequently following him telling her to breathe, he then threw her back on the ground. And when he threw her back on the ground, he said some other disturbing things. And then Kid Austin, his son, Floyd Schofield Jr., walked out to the area that his father and this woman was in, where it looks like the woman still was on the ground. And it sounded like he said, "What happened, Dad?" And then Floyd Sr. did respond, yelling like a female, like he be acting like, and then the video cut off. Now, I just want to say this because I think this is as equally as important. The person that sent me the video was not a content creator. I have to say that. But at the same time, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? So anyway, I published this video on Friday night. I never even did a video on it. I never made a public statement. I didn't do a reaction to it. I never spoke not even 2 words on it. All I did was just publish the video that was sent to me. And the reason why I published the video is so that when I go live, I could do a reaction to the video, not specifically just about what Floyd Sr. did, but how this will impact the behaviors of his father, will impact him, the son, the fighter. See, because I'm for the fighter. And every time I do a live, when we have to deal with these type of situations where fathers are trying to overshine their sons or overstep their boundaries, or any video that I publish where the father is hovering over the career of the son, who is normally the professional fighter, these type of situations happen where the son, the fighter, the professional boxer, has to deal with the impact psychologically and emotionally within himself, and then the public scrutiny that comes along with it that damages the image and reputation of the son when the son is innocent. And so that's the reason why I published the video. But long and behold, yesterday morning at approximately 2:22 a.m., when I woke up early yesterday morning, I woke up around, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, I don't know. But when I woke up, after I do my morning routine with prayer and devotion to God and all of that, right? I check my email, and long and behold, Dean, the guy, Floyd Schofield Sr, emails me. He didn't go in my comment section on the video, not once, but he emailed me. He emailed me, and we had basically a very, when I say short, y'all, I mean short, a short dialogue, because there was a short exchange through our correspondence. But while the audience and the viewership is increasing exponentially, before I show you the proof of what Mr. Floyd said to me via email yesterday and last night, I'm not going to play the video again. I mean, it does have 11,000 views on it on this channel. I'm not going to play it again, but I do want to play the audio. And I want you all to hear Floyd Scope. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
No, that's fucking breath. I'm a blow your fucking head. I believe me too. I told you don't fucking play with me, shit. March 22nd, man, you was my girl. You was my girl. I don't give a fuck. You playing with me, Camille. Because I was blow your fucking head. You was my girl. What the fuck wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You was my girl. You was my don't deserve that shit. Stand up. Stand up. No, I'm okay, I'm sorry. Stop. Stop. Breathe. 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 Okay. Breathe. Get out there. Breathe. Motherfucker, right okay. Stop playing with me.
All right, we heard enough. All right, let's do an audio check just to make sure that we're clear. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Are y'all there? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. Can y'all hear me? Can I get a yes or no in the chat? Were y'all able to hear the audio? Salute to everybody in the chat. I just want to know, did y'all 1 2? Hello, 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 hello. Mic check 1 2. Is my lavalier on? Hello. Did y'all hear that? 76 Mark, you heard that? Omega Red, what's up? You heard that? Benson Hedges, you telling me to leave it alone, Benson. But let me ask you a question, Benson. Did you hear that, Benson? I'm not familiar with you in my chat, but I'm glad that you're here. But Benson, did you hear that? I will play it again. But I'm just asking. The man said he wanted to file a lawsuit against me, so I'm just trying to make sure before I. Did y'all hear that? Okay, all things heard it. Adam, he heard it. Steve, my man Steve Maga, he heard it. Okay. Now let's get down to this. That was Floyd Schofield Sr. That's Kid Austin's dad. See, this is what I'm talking about. Kid Austin, the fighter, he's going to have to deal with the backlash that comes down the pipe behind this. Him, the fighter, at this point, he did nothing wrong. In this video that we all saw and heard just now, he didn't do anything wrong. But because he's the professional boxer, right? All of the consequences and the ramifications of the behaviors of his father, he's going to have to suffer the consequences for. Just like other professional boxers whose fathers do more interviews than them, get more shine than them, get more media coverage than them, who make bad decisions, more bad decisions than the fighter has to deal with this. So that's why I'm speaking on this. Like I speak on it all the time. You see Benson and the rest of you that say, I shouldn't speak on this, I should have left it alone, I should have never published. Let me remind you all, because some of y'all might not know. Most of you might be new to the channel. This is not the first time I spoke on domestic violence on my channel. See, y'all don't know, but go back into my content, right? You're going to see when I spoke up when Tank Davis was on camera at a basketball game, when he gripped up the girl, his girlfriend, baby mom, whoever she was, he gripped her up, right? And he walked her, while he still was gripping her up, to the back in the dressing room area. Y'all remember that? Okay, I spoke up on that. Did I not? Okay, what about what's the guy's name? Stephen A. Smith's friend. Was that Dana White? Oh, okay. When Dana White smacked his wife in the club. Y'all remember that? That was caught on camera as well. I spoke up on that. And I spoke against Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith at the time, he was taken up for Dana White excusing his behavior. And I did a video showing the hypocrisy that Stephen A. Smith had, because he basically was more understanding when Dana White smacked his wife in the face, right, in public, because that was his friend. But yet when that situation happened where Floyd Mayweather Jr. allegedly, right, supposed to have put his hands on his children's mother, right? There's no video or proof of it, but at the same time, Stephen A. Smith was criticizing Floyd Mayweather, right? Y'all remember that? Okay, then. So what's different of me speaking on it now? What's different? I've been speaking up on this, especially when it happens on camera. So what are we talking about? You know what's interesting about that though? Floyd Schofield is jumping on people's platform, right? Doing interviews. Am I right or wrong? I'm not going to say all the platforms' names because it's not important. But he gets more interviews than his son. And his son is the fighter. It seems like Floyd Schofield Sr., he want to be on camera all the time, right? Right? He want to be in the public eye now, right? Okay. So now that he's in the public eye now on camera, in his house, physically assaulting his girlfriend, oh, now all of a sudden the lawsuit got to come down the pipe. Floyd Sr. always want to get on people's cameras, don't he? He won't come up here, just like the rest of them won't come up here. But my thing is, he can be on everybody's camera doing an interview when he's not even a fighter. But yet now he's on camera and now he's complaining. Now, the link is in the chat, though. I just wanted to put that out there to anybody in the chat that feel like I shouldn't have put this up there or I shouldn't be speaking on it or whatever. Or if you want to even speak on it yourself, that's fine. The link is it's pinned to the top of the chat as well. So my thing is, right, Floyd Sr., he emailed me. I didn't call him. I didn't reach out to him. I mean, I don't know how to reach out to him anyway, but he emailed me on Friday night into really was technically Saturday morning. I'm going to show y'all what he said in the email. Then we're going to talk about it while we're here. We're going to get the Boots and Virgil Ortiz in a little bit because the viewership is increasing exponentially. We're going to get there. Hold on. Let me show y'all what he said and why we're here today. We need answers. Okay, now, this is Mr. Floyd Schofield, right? This him right here, y'all. This the email right here. This him right here, right? I'm going to read y'all what he said. This him again for some of y'all that didn't see that. This him right here. Let me tell y'all what he said. Hold on for me. Let me get some water. This guy's a nutcase. A nutcase, man. He emailed me, right? This is right here. 2:22 in the morning. He emailed me 2:22 in the morning, right? And this is what he said. A lawsuit, not 2:22 in the morning this morning. This was Saturday morning. A lawsuit will be filed against you right after the fight. I am just giving you a heads up. Those were the words of Floyd Schofield Sr. to me on Saturday morning at 2:22 in the morning. He said, a lawsuit will be filed against you right after the fight. I am just giving you a heads up. Now, I find it interesting, people in my comments section, right? When I posted that video, which I'm not the originator of the video, by the way, but when I posted the video, right, people were in my comments section. We had over 400 and something, 11,000 views, over 400 and something comments. And some of the comments were saying that, you know, I'm trying to create content. Like, I shouldn't speak on this. Whatever he did in his house was his business. I'm corny for even posting it. I mean, I was getting a lot of people that was giving me the backlash. And I actually did nothing wrong. I actually didn't even say anything at all. It's just a 1 minute and 10-second video that was published, that was sent to me, and I published it. But a lawsuit will be filed against you right after the fight. I'm just giving you a heads up. You know what my response to that was? Hey, who that in the background trying to get on? Benson, hold on 1 second, brother. I'm going to let you on in 1 second. Give me a second, brother. Stay right there. Don't move. I'm going to let you on. You know what my response to that was, though? I'm going to show you what my response to that was. Here you go right here. This is me. That was my response right there. I know my phone messed up. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that green line. Don't worry about that. Don't y'all worry about that. Hold on. This is what I said. No, that's what he said. No, that's him, right? Then I'm gonna turn it to what I said in response to him, right? Okay. I'm gonna read to y'all what I said to the guy. This was last night. I said, thanks for the heads up, Floyd. Until then, let's have a healthy discussion like men. No drama, just real talk. I invite you to join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'll send you the link when you confirm. It's a similar FaceTime format like the interviews that you do on other platforms. That was my response to him. When he said to me that a lawsuit was going to be filed against me after the fight, he's just giving me the heads up. That was my response to him. And about an hour and a half later, Floyd Sr, he emailed me back. Here we go right here. Here we go. You know, some of y'all want to take up for the guy. Don't get mad at me. I'm telling you what he said. This was his response when I invited him to come over here and talk to me like a man. That's what I said to him, like men. He says, men would have contacted to get the truth. I do not wish to join your channel. He said men would have contacted to get the truth. Well, this is just in case he's watching. And whoever cool with him, go send this over there to him. Floyd Sr, contact you to get the truth on what? I'm just asking the question. Double salute to my guy, Band Up, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, and he's a member of the channel. Double salute to my guy, Andre Smith. He's also a supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew and a member of the channel. I'm just trying to figure out, contact Floyd Sr to get the truth on what? He said men would contact to get the truth. Men would contact you to get the truth. I mean, it's on tape. I'm just trying to figure out what truth is he talking about. It's on tape. Double salute, Jeremy Austin. He's also a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. What? Get the truth on what? Men would have contacted him to get the truth. So he basically saying, in response to me, if I was a real man, I would have contacted him first to get the truth. That's basically what he's saying. Basically. But I'm trying to figure out, contact you for what? When I heard you say these words.
No, I got that ass fucking breath. I'm gonna blow your fucking head. I believe me too. I told you don't fucking play with me and cheat on me. March 22nd, man, you was my girl. You was my girl. I don't give a fuck. You playing with me, Camille. Then I will blow your fucking head. You was my girl. What the fuck wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You was my girl. You was my girl in March 2022. Now you sick motherfucker trying. 2 years ago, I was a man. What's wrong with you? Stand up. You don't deserve that shit, but stand up. Stand up.
I heard enough, y'all. It's more, but I can't keep hearing that. It's just traumatizing. I can't keep hearing that, man. Hey, Floyd, that's you? Is that the guy? Him? What truth are we talking about? Is that his voice? Yes or no? Yes, that's his voice. That's the truth. Did he choke this woman? Yes, that's the truth. Did he slam her on the ground? Yes, that's true. Did he threaten her life and say that he was going to blow her head off, the F word? That's true. So men would have contacted him to get the truth on what? That's why I'm just trying to figure out what truth is he talking about. Because that's actually the truth of what happened. Double salute to my guy, Frederick. Thank you for the support and super chat, my brother. Frederick says in the super chat, Marty, salute, you my brother. You my brother too, Fred, and I thank you for your support, man. And I know that's the first super chat, but definitely not the last. So I'm trying to figure out what truth are we talking about? Contacting Floyd Sr. to get the truth on what? The truth is already in the pudding right here. It's on video. And he traumatized his son because all of this happened while his son was not just in the house, but even in his son's presence. The fighter. That's the truth. Contact him on what? I don't get it. Now, before I let my two guests on real quick, I wanted to clarify a couple of things also. Floyd Sr. said to me, he's going to file a lawsuit against me. I got a question on that. Actually, I got multiple questions on that. Question number one, I've done about at least five at the minimum, 5 videos reacting to the things that Floyd Sr. said in multiple interviews in the last 90 days. How come he didn't send me an email saying he's going to file a lawsuit against me for anything that I said in those 5 videos that I did about him in the last 90 days? Question number 2, because he be talking gangster on people's platform. I got a question on that. You know, I keep telling y'all some of these dads that train these fighters or have trained these fighters or hire another trainer to train these fighters who are their sons. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the black community. I don't know, but it seemed like these fathers, they talk gangster because their sons have the abilities to do something that they don't have the abilities to do. Now, I'm just trying to ask the question on that sense because he be talking like he's gangster when he's on Mill City Boxing, when he's on Fight Hype and all these different platforms. I got a question on that. So let me get this straight. And anybody else can answer this too if y'all cool with him. So Floyd Sr. can threaten a woman by saying he's going to blow her effing head off, but yet he filed a lawsuit or threaten to file a lawsuit against men. Because I'm not the only one I heard that he said he's going to file a lawsuit against. But I'm trying to figure something out. So wait, hold on for a minute. As a grown man, a gangster, on the camera, he can threaten a woman, right? By saying he's going to blow her effing head off when she says something to him that he don't like. But yet when it comes to men, he threatened to file a lawsuit. I'm just trying to figure. We need answers. I'm just trying to figure out, y'all. Understand? Don't get mad at me. I'm just asking a question. I don't. So a woman say something that hurt your feelings, hurt your pride, and told you, she was texting another man or whatever the argument was about. You threaten to blow her head off because she said something that you didn't like. But when it comes to grown men, you threaten to file a lawsuit when they say something, or that when we say something that you don't like. I don't get it. I'm just saying, like, when do we make these things acceptable? The man is on camera. It don't matter if it happened in his house, if it happened in a bar, if it happened in the mall, if it happened in her house. The location is not important. What's important is that a woman was physically abused. A woman was verbally abused. A woman was emotionally abused. A son, a professional boxer, was emotionally traumatized, psychologically traumatized. We can't speak on this? I'm confused. Double salute to Lee. Thank you for the super stick and support to the channel, man. I appreciate your contribution. So I'm trying to figure out, I didn't even ask the guy what he was suing me for. I never said, why you suing me, man? That's not what I said. I didn't even entertain the fact that he was going to sue me or claim he was going to sue me. You know what I said? Thanks for the heads up, Floyd. But until then, until you file that lawsuit, I need to holler at you about something. Healthy discussion, like men. See, you jump on everybody else's platform, calling Shakur Stevenson out of his name, calling Tank Davis out of his name, disrespecting Keyshawn and Devin Haney and the rest of these fighters, right? But now I want you to jump on this platform so I can talk to you. I want to, hey, we want to have a man-to-man discussion. You know, that's all it is. I'm going to play an excerpt of what he said to defend himself in just a few seconds. But let the guy Benson hit. My man Dean going to come through.
Can you hear me, Marty?
Oh, man, I can hear you loud and clear, man. What's going on? How you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm blessed. I ain't gonna make too much about it, man. You know, they say
I like that.
complaining ain't gonna get you nowhere.
I like that hat you wearing. I like that.
Yeah, we matching. We matching. We
That's
matching.
my team.
Hey, real quick, man. I've been around from day one, so you can go. You know, I think y'all can check on YouTube, kind of like when people subscribe or whatever. But I've been rocking with you for a long time. Probably just missed some of my comments. In this particular situation, I wasn't disagreeing with the subject matter, particularly at the time. What I was really kind of speaking on was, I'm proud of everything I see you doing. What sometimes happen is I see good people get stuck in other people's gum under their shoe. And what I don't like is, see, where I see your platform going in a direction that stand up, it don't make me feel good to see another young brother kind of coming up in a different direction. Meaning you know, the Schofield seem like they got a different kind of platform where they can kind of, you know, maybe say certain things that could, you know, seem like it could hurt maybe your build up. And I'm looking at it from the, man, I want to see more to do big things. I want to see more to have an interview with Schofield Jr. But when it's a sensitive situation and it's being cradled, you know, that particular situation was in the dark, but we know it was public information. It's not something that you just re-brought out. But I'm just concerned about what I would say. Maybe he needs to learn how to forgive. Just then maybe we need to try to maybe learn how to forgive him. And not saying talking about that subject in that type of way, but I'm not happy to hear what I heard. It was hurtful to hear. Even made me rethink about some things, because I talk to my son in a certain way sometimes, because I want him to be prepared for maybe him understanding when he heard the way other men talk to him for his own personal, you know, emotional ways, understanding how to negate something that's, hey, this is not the, you know, the way you place your emotions with certain things. And, you know, when we saying man to man, we don't necessarily know what's the emotion of Mr. Schofield. We're talking about his baby, you understand? But it's still sensitive, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm not disagreeing with you now, hold on. But I'm just saying, I don't like none of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with you 100%. But it's a brother that I would like to see on your platform. But technically, the truth of what you're revealing is hurtful. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to see y'all me in this situation, man. Y'all, you a damn good man. You understand? He a damn good father. We all are crippled, man, and have certain things, you know what I'm saying, that you know, hurt us as Black people, you know what I mean? But I care that you shared your truth. I just love everything you doing a lot. And I don't want part of this particular situation to open up at a time where maybe his family finally gets, we're not saying it's gonna be his highest payday, but maybe his highest payday. Man, they've been going through it. And just a bit quick back information on me. I used to fight. I fought with the Hatless. You know, if you know anything about anybody in Dallas or Oak Cliff, listen, man. I just, man, I love you, man. I love him. I love his son. Man, some of this SHIT, man, I just, it's not that I try to deter away from the subject matter, but I just want you to be careful, man, with your direction a little bit. It just, you know, we care about you, man. It ain't what you think. Like, I don't want to be seeing you into it with Schofield over some foolishness, but that's the truth. But maybe at a sensitive time. But man, thank you for listening to me, man. What I was saying was coming from a loving place. I was hoping we can forgive, you know what I'm saying, and kind of move in a direction where it's still, you know what I'm saying, the emotional love, not the emotional debate or the emotional truth. You know what I'm saying? Because truth is hurtful. And man, I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to see y'all love each other, man. I know you love his son. You probably a father just like me. So I know what you're saying is from a loving place. But man, y'all try to figure out a way to love each other, man. Start out by saying, man, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And then anything that I did, man, that hurt you, man, or your family, I'm sorry. And if it's any way me and you could talk, maybe, you know what I'm saying, and me and what might seem like was hurtful, you know what I'm saying, I would love to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think he a damn good father. I know you a damn good man. And I don't want to see two damn good people, man, on some BS, man. Especially no unnecessary threats from no damn lawsuits. That's cheap, man. That's petty. I know he don't probably mean that, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, man, it's stupid, man. I just hope y'all find a way, man, to mend the situation, man, with the devotion of love, man, and just upbringing, man, because he a hell of a man, and you a hell of a man. And as long as we just keep being hell of a men, you understand, it ain't nothing wrong with what we talking about and what we dealing with. So yeah, I could have put my what's name on there. I wanted to show my face because you haven't seen me, and I want to make sure when you see me sometime, you know who I am, man. I'm not hard to find, man. These folks that's on this live know me. They done seen me on a couple different channels. I don't play like that, man. But I love good people, man. And you one of the very few people that I associate with when it comes to this YouTube situation with this boxing community, man. So just keep staying on your P's and Q's, man, and just try to forgive, man. But this upbringing that we came up with, man, and this situation that we dealing with, man, it's an open sore, man.
Yeah. Well, let me say this, Benson. First of all, I want to say, can you mute your background?
Okay.
Just so you can hear me. So I want to say, first of all, salute to you. I appreciate you always being a supporter of the channel, always coming through. I just didn't recognize your name right away in the chat. And I appreciate you even coming up to express yourself to me. And everybody knows this about me, man. I have a big heart. Even if a person disagree with me, I'll open my platform up so that people can share what their perspective is on different things. So I want to start this off by saying I appreciate you in the comment section and even coming up, man. We don't always have to agree on everything to be respectful to each other as men. So I appreciate that. Another thing I want you to understand, Floyd Schofield Sr didn't do anything to me directly, because I heard you use the term forgive. So he didn't do anything directly to hurt me. So I don't know if you think that him and I have a personal beef. I don't know the guy. The video was sent to me by someone who is not a content creator. To my understanding, when this video was sent to me, this video was already out there floating around on social media. You know, so it was a video that was already published, and someone sent a copy of it to me. When I posted the video, and I said this just a few minutes ago, my intentions is to do everything in the best interest of professional boxers. If Floyd Schofield Sr had nothing to do with the sport of boxing, you probably wouldn't even hear me speak on this situation because it's not related to boxing. But one thing that traumatized me is seeing children traumatized, even when they're adults. And I've sat here and I never made nothing public about it. But now, because the video surfaced, now I can. Because now we have something tangible to reference to illustrate my point. I have sat here and watched interview after interview that Kid Austin has done, not by himself. He's always done interviews with his father, Floyd Sr. They always in the interviews together. And the body language that I see from Kid Austin tells me, in my experience, that Kid Austin is traumatized. And the reason why I said that is because we have something tangible now, Benson, that we can refer to, and that's the video. Floyd Sr. had the woman on the ground. After he threw her on the ground, his son came out. Kid Austin, the fighter, the boxer, he came out and asked his dad what happened. His dad was yelling, and he was just, I guess, talking about what he was angry about. Kid Austin was powerless and helpless, and so was that woman. When I see Kid Austin do interviews, this is the first time I'm saying this publicly, but since you brought that up, now it's giving me the opportunity to talk about it. When Kid Austin do interviews and he's sitting next to his dad, who usually dominate the interview and dominate the dialogue, which the interview should be to his son, what it reminds me of is when Robin Givens was with Barbara Walters, right? She was being interviewed by Barbara Walters, and she had Mike Tyson sitting next to her. I don't know if you all remember this. This is back in the day. And she was talking about how Mike Tyson physically abused her. He physically assaulted her. She even diagnosed him as manic depressive. And she talked about how traumatized that she was. But just looking at Mike Tyson's body language, in my experience, he looked like he was the one being traumatized by her. It looked like he was the one being emotionally abused and psychologically abused by her. And then, of course, when everything happened and came out, we saw that Mike Tyson actually was the genuine, true victim in his relationship with Roper, which was her mom, and Robin Givens. And I sense the same thing when I see Kid Austin sitting next to his dad in these interviews on different platforms. Now, with that being said,
is that I'm not trying to cut you off? Is that, do you see the same with Devin and his father?
I usually don't see them two together in interviews, honestly. I would love to see Devin Haney do more interviews by himself without his dad doing them. People know my position, but
Well, what about the Benavidez daddy, and what about
I don't see
Teofimo daddy as
I don't
well?
see that there. Hey, I don't see that there. But remember, Benson, I have something tangible. Listen now, this is the difference between Devin Haney, Bill Haney. Let me finish. The
Correct.
Benavidez's, right? The man is on tape of physically assaulting and abusing a woman in the presence of his son. Now, I know you might categorize the guy as a good man and a good father, but quite frankly, I don't. And that's my personal opinion of the guy, and that is okay too. But you said something, you mentioned the word love, and you said it about 3 or 4 times. And I want to give a scripture. It is Sunday, by the way, and people know I am the preacher. I want to give you a scripture on love. The scripture says this in the book of Proverbs. It says that open rebuke is better than secret love. In other words, it's better to openly rebuke someone, and that shows that you care, opposed to just having secret affection for somebody. It's better to openly rebuke them. And right now, because of the behavior and the words of Schofield Sr., there's absolutely nothing that he can say that's going to make people believe that he is not under scrutiny for what he did. He did what he did on camera. It was released. They were his words, and it was the truth. And now he's subject to open rebuke. Whether I like him or not, whether he likes me or not, that's not the point. I don't have nothing personal against the guy because he did nothing directly to me. But anytime I see a professional boxer being traumatized, I speak on it. And if somebody don't agree with me, watch this. When Deontay Wilder was going through his situation with his, I want to say, ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance, I spoke on that because I believe that he was targeted. I spoke on that. I'm not just doing this just because I'm trying to get content. Floyd Schofield's behaviors and words will not move anything that's happening with me or my platform. at all. There's nothing that he can say or do that will make my platform go into pieces. I mean, he don't direct. Listen, I gave the man an opportunity to even come up here to speak to me before I even was going to do this live. And as I just read his email, Benson, he said that he don't want to come up here and talk to me. So what else? So what? I'm not going to do a live because he don't want to be a man to talk to me. He should have been the man to talk to me before he threatened me. I didn't threaten him, Benson. The man threatened me. He threatened me with a lawsuit. I ain't do nothing wrong to him. He threatened me. I can't defend myself, Benson. As a man, I can't. The man threatened me. I can't defend myself, Benson. I'm just asking you, can I defend myself, brother?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like, I mean, you're a ref as well, right? Correct, because I've been following you for a while. You're a referee as well, right?
A referee?
Yeah,
For
you're a
the
ref,
amateur
right?
boxing program, yes. Amateur boxing referee, judge, and timekeeper. Yes.
So, I just think that, the points that you're making is definitely coming from somebody who understands, you know what I'm saying, methodology. So I understand your method. Like I get where you're coming from. But I see a lot of fathers, that's in boxing, and most of the time it's either the fighter that's talking or it's the dad that's talking, man. If it's not the dad, it's sometimes the promoter. But yeah, it's normally the dad kind of, dominating the conversation. Like I see the same thing with Lomo dad, yeah, now the public information, we on the same page, like again, like as far as that, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I just hope, um I just hope that shit just kind of blow past, man.
Well,
I
it's
don't
not
want
going
to,
to blow past. Just like it
with
did.
you. Like, I don't want him, coming at you in a certain type of way. Like, man, let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would
Let
you
me
be
tell you
wasting
like
your
this, man.
time with, a fella like Marty? Like Marty doing his part. Like, that's crazy that I feel
But
like
what can, hey, Vince,
he
but what
saw
can he
something
say?
that you said and actually sent you an email. I'm looking at it like, bro, like, man, leave that man alone, man.
But
Like,
what can
but
he,
it's a
but
sensitive subject.
Vince, what can he say to me that would justify what he did to that lady? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What can he say to me?
Nothing.
He
Nothing.
choked
I
a
mean,
grown woman
it's just
out.
personal. It's personal.
Listen,
It's sensitive, and yeah, it's hurtful. You know
and
what I mean? And
and the
maybe
thing,
sometimes those
Vince,
demons come back. Demons come back to hunt you. Some shit in the dark, it come back. And so
yeah,
maybe this might be the one that he needed to remind him of his own personal ways. But narcissistic parenting is real. I'm not sure if he's a narcissist, but again, I'm just saying that psychologically, you know what I mean? Just I just want y'all, man, to be careful, man.
I'm
You a good
careful.
dude,
Hey, listen,
Marty.
hey, Vince,
You a good
Vince,
dude,
I'm
man. Don't
careful.
get
Hey,
caught up
Vince,
in this foolishness, man.
But Vince, I have to say this. I think you're looking at it from a Floyd Schofield versus me. No, see, I'm speaking on it because it's always the elephant in the room that most people don't speak on, and that's the son. That's the fighters. My best interest is for the fighters, brother, and nobody speaks on. I mean, it's easy to speak on, oh, he beat up a woman and all that, but nobody speaks on the fact that his father said in previous interviews, and I pointed this out 2 or 3 weeks ago, where he said his son didn't have a childhood. His son wasn't allowed to have a childhood because he
Yeah, I
wanted
saw
his
that.
son
I
to
saw
be
that.
the
I saw that.
breadwinner of the family, bruh.
That
I
shit
spoke
hurt.
on that.
Yeah, that hurt. You in our community, our culture. I mean, we just seen Travis Hunter by his mama house. Come on, we hear Dion saying, hey, if they saying that they finna pull him, he got to go because he got to get mama. We understand everybody's situation not the same. So, but again, I'm just saying, that's
Go ahead, Dean. Hey, Vince,
Tiger.
hold on, Dean. Let my
My
man,
bad.
Dean is, Dean might want to. What's up, Dean? What's going on with you, brother?
I just want to say thank you, Manager Marty, for letting me up. You can hear me pretty clear?
Yeah, you clear, brother. You clear.
My thing is, we can't sit up there and say this man is a good man and a good father and all of these things when he has shown no remorse. You know what a good man would have did? He would have came out with a public statement saying, hey, y'all, I see y'all seen that video that went public. I feel terrible about the decision that I made in my actions. to do that in front of my child. No, he's going around threatening to sue me too, Benson. He in my comments threatening to sue me as well. Because I didn't even post the video. I just spoke on the situation. And the fact that he's a man that is mad that you speaking on the situation more than he's mad about his actions, it's no way he's a good man. Because a good man will come out and take accountability for his actions that he did in front of his child. And Benson, you want to know what's even crazier? He on his son YouTube channel commenting in my chat. He's using his son's platform to come at others, not even his own. So there's nothing manly about that. Why you a grown man don't have your own Instagram or your own YouTube account? And then you want to threat threats to other men? But you ain't make threat. You made a threat to that woman and actually acted out on it. We're not speaking on nothing we didn't see. I got daughters. To do that while your son was in the crib, and mind you, Benson, this is a 50-year-old man because he said after 2022. So this is not no spring chicken. This is not no child that did this. He's not in his early 20s. He's not in his teens. Not saying that would make it right. But what I'm saying is this is a grandfather acting like that. And then he spoke on Gervonta Davis' situation. Did you know that, Benson? He spoke on Gervonta Davis' situation.
Yeah, I saw it.
So you can't throw rocks and hide your hand now. You got so much to say about everything, Benson. He's such not a man. He sat up there and turned off the comments on Twitter because he didn't want to hear the backlash, but he want everybody to hear his big mouth on every platform he goes on. He threatened Greg Hackett on the platform to beat him up and do all of this other stuff. But then when you're under the fire, now you don't want nobody to speak on it. Men should know life don't work that way. And a real man wouldn't handle it that way. A real man will come out, say, I apologize for my actions. I apologize to the Schofield family. And Benson, get this one. Because I know you probably ain't think about this one, big dog. This might be the first time that lady's family has seen this. Because we've seen women go back to abusers all the time. It's a great chance that this is the first time that woman's family has seen this. What about her? What about her? Shouldn't no man be doing that? And he showed no remorse, so much so that he's telling her to breathe. He even said, Benson, oh yeah, you ain't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Get up, breathe. The woman was sitting up there having a panic attack. And then he slams her back down to the ground.
And may I point out these two things. And number one, Benson, and I will roll the tape again because we have women in the chat right now. Salute to Tueston's Boxing. She is a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. We have women in the chat, but I want to say this real quick. The woman, while she was choking, he was helping her up. I don't know if you saw the video, Benson. He was helping her up. And you can hear the woman apologizing to him, saying, sorry. And he then goes and slams this woman down. Now, back to what Deem's point was, and instead of this man coming out saying, y'all caught me, I'm wrong, I'm going to do A, B, and C to bring resolution, not just to the woman, but within myself as a man, so that these things don't happen again. I'm not talking about him saying therapy. I'm not talking about that. And on top of that, apologizing to his son, because his son is going to have to deal with the consequences of this. Let me play and roll the tape back on what he actually did say, not even 24 hours ago, after he threatened me, Deem, and whoever else with lawsuits. This is what he said in his response to everybody speaking on the video.
What's up, my Instagram followers, me and Kid Instagram followers? I just want to tell y'all, I want to apologize to y'all for my actions 2 years ago. Someone, fake friend, I call him Judas. He used to be a friend in the past till we cut him off. Now you see we got that bag and he want to come with some crazy stuff. But anyway, 2 years ago, me and my queen got into it. Got into some real stuff and we had to deal with it. And it took personal growth. We went through extensive therapy since 2 years ago, and I never put my hands on her ever again. And I learned she was the one, my queen, that showed me about therapy and personal growth and finding you and the spiritual journey. So I love my queen. At the time she met me, I was broken because I come from not having a family, and and it took growth. And I made mistakes. I even went to court and had to deal with it that way also. But me and her is together still, and we are happy. We are so happy. So I apologize to my Facebook friends, my Instagram friends and followers for disappointing y'all in my behavior, but I don't condone that in me or anyone else. And I wish everyone growth on their journey. But either way, this fight is going on, and we ain't allowing anyone to derail it. So that man want to get a little bit of fame because I guess his marketing ain't working. But it is what it is. Understand when you make it, haters gonna come. People that used to be friends. But anyway, I love you, Queen, always, and she know who she is, and we know who she is. Yeah.
Okay, now let me respond to that real quick. First and foremost, he said he apologized to the Facebook friends, but he never publicly apologized to her because it's public at this point. He also never apologized to his son because it's public now, so he should have done that publicly. He said that this happened 2 years ago. I'm going to play the audio back again because I think some of us missed it, and we'll see exactly when this happened. He's still not keeping it all the way 100 and real. And when he said that it was her who recommended him to get, I guess, therapy and all, like this dude still did not hold himself accountable. I mean, all he did was talk about words. We didn't see the woman in the video anywhere. And
Marty, I don't think he's strong enough. I don't think he's strong enough to will himself.
Well,
he's
guess
weaker.
what, Vince? Guess what
You
you need to
understand,
do
man?
is,
Now, I'm not making no excuse for him.
that's okay.
I'm
That's
agreeing
okay.
with you and Dean. But Dean, right? But
That's
y'all
okay.
right, bro. I'm glad y'all bringing it out, man.
But good, look, Vince, I got a solution for that. Let's say he's not strong enough to will himself. Then this is what he needs to do. Be quiet and go in the background and get healing. Because everything he's saying and do is going to affect who? The fighter. We can't make no excuses for this guy's behavior. That's the bottom line. I want to play back the audio again. I'm going to let, I think, 2 more people want to come up. So stay right there, y'all. I'm going to play the audio because he said all this happened 2 years ago. This is what he said. Y'all just heard him. I'm going to play the actual video again, the actual audio from the original video, and we're going to hear what he had to say in this video.
No, I got that ass fucking breath. I'm gonna blow your fucking head. I believe me too. I told you don't fucking play with me and cheat on me. March 22nd, man, you was my girl. You was my girl. I don't give a fuck. You playing with me, Camille? Then I will blow your fucking head. You was my girl. What the fuck wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You was my girl. You was my girl in March 2022. Now you sick motherfucker trying. 2 years ago, I was your man.
2 years ago, I was your man. So if this happened, man, I'm going to let y'all use y'all wisdom, man.
Manager Marty, and he said 2 years ago, you was my girl at
That's
March
what he
2022. Can somebody tell me what is 2 years after that?
2 years ago means that it's 2024 today.
And I'm just saying. So then he's not even keeping it 100 on that. His exact words was past tense. You was my girl in March 2022, 2 years ago. Then that would make it this year. And this is a grown man. Listen, man, by the time you 49, 50 years old, stuff like that is who you are. You should be past that by that time. You're not a young man. You're a grandfather. This is who you are. And everybody in the chat, you want to know how this is who he is? Because just look how he speak to everybody else. Him threatening Greg and threatening other people saying he going to do this, that, and the third. That was this year.
Right. He cocky. He cocky.
So and then my thing is, you sit up there and use your son's accounts to go at people. Who does that? Kid Austin got to pay for that. I don't know if I'm talking to Kid Austin or his daddy in the chat.
Right.
And Kid Austin got to deal with this, man. Real men don't do stuff like that. And then this the craziest part, and I'll land my plane. So then you come out and apologize. That's all I was asking you to do. How you going to try to sue me and Manager Marty for speaking on something that's public that even you said you was wrong about? But I can't say you wrong. It'll get thrown out immediately. Was you wrong or not? That is assault. Do y'all know poking a woman in the head is considered assault? Do you know walking up on somebody aggressively in an aggressive manner can be considered assault? So did I not see what I saw? Obviously I did, because he admitted to it. So once you admit that this is what you did and it's a public video, people have the right to speak on it. Because you speak on everything else. No, we not. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dean. Before I get to paid in full and then 2 cents boxing, I want to make something clear. Let's just hypothetically say that what he did was 2 years ago, because that's what he said. You know what Diddy did? You know what Sean Combs did to Cassie? You know that was longer than 2 years ago, and where he's sitting at right now. You know what R. Kelly did? That was years ago. Where he's sitting at. Oh, all right. I just wanted to put that out there. What difference does it make on how long ago it was?
Right.
What difference does it make?
Right.
Hey, listen, I'm going to stop my school bus right here because I'm not done. Paid in full. What's up, brother? Thanks for coming on the show.
Salute, Marty. What's going on, my brother Dean?
The guy wanted to file a lawsuit against me, paid in full. I ain't do nothing, brother.
I see that, but hats off to y'all, man. Salute to y'all. But I'm gonna let 2 Cent go first. I'm gonna let her speak on it because I want to hear a woman's perspective from this situation.
Respect.
What up, y'all? What's going on?
2 Cent, what up? Thank you for coming up, 2 Cent.
In order to file a lawsuit, don't the information got to be false?
Yes.
I
was going to get to that 2 Cents, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Because I'm curious how you going to sue me about something you got a video with. But what I was going to ask and the point I was going to make is he referenced the truth of the matter is a lot of men are violent with their women. And I'm not saying that makes it okay, but it seems to only be an issue when people can physically see it in the video. Like, it's obvious the man had anger issues, clearly. Like, I don't know what he's battling on the inside, but something is going on. He obviously have anger issues. But as far as, like, giving my opinion from a woman's perspective, I mean, you can't be in relationships like that. Like, it's accountability on both sides. Like he said, like, oh, she's still here. We still together. Why are you still with him if he could possibly be that violent and put your life in that type of danger? I'm not excusing anything. I'm just saying. And how much is this really going to affect Floyd Schofield? Like, how much is it really going to affect him as far as his career go? Because this is his father that did this. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like at the same time, it's like people saying, oh, they put this video out so they could stop a fight. So they put the video out to stop a fight between Shakur Stevenson, who was also seen on video hitting a woman. Like I'm not like understanding like what's going on. Like, why would this stop a fight, or why would they release this to try to stop the fight? I don't understand it. But the man clearly got issues. It's not okay. He's caught on video being violent towards a woman. He all over the internet, foaming at the mouth on YouTube channels, doing interviews, cussing people out and getting all upset. Like, the man is not okay. But my question is, what effect did people think this video would have as far as his son and his career when you about to have a fight with a whole nother boxer that's on video hitting a woman too? Like, I don't understand that. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. 2 Cent. 2 Cent, as a woman, I really want to ask you this question. Forget even of the physical part that he did. What he said to the woman, though, that he would threaten to take her life because she messed with another man. You that weak? You that insecure as a man? Hey, I'm gonna say it in the famous Cameron words on Paid in Full. Chicks get hit every day. B, you be all right.
Facts.
That man is unstable. It's a lot of unstable men out there, Dean. He unstable.
Yeah, I'm starting to. I feel like he got more of a controlling type of attitude towards females. So I wonder what happened with Kid Austin mother. Where's she at? Did she experience the same situation? Which is why she's not a part of his life?
Well, apparently, according to Floyd Sr., and I did a video on this, he claimed that 20 21 years ago, Kid Austin's mom was young, and she already had 4 children, and she was battling with drugs. So the courts gave him full custody of Kid Austin. In fact, he said that the judge told him that he had to quit the music industry as an A&R for artists like Mr. Cheeks to be a
That shit
full-time
sound
dad.
crazy.
That's what that what he said.
And I'm trying to understand. Anybody knows that anybody that went through the court system knows, like, bro, they leave you. That's your way out of jail if you got a job. So why the hell would they make you quit a job to get custody of it? That don't make sense. That don't make sense, bro. That shit sound horrible.
But I pointed these facts out, basically showing the contradiction in his statement. He never ever sent me an email saying that he was going to file a lawsuit against me for words I did say. But now the video surfaces on my platform, and now he want to file a lawsuit on me. Bottom line is, by him even coming out with this little video of I apologize, I got help, which we have no proof of, the real truth is not about whether he got help, they still together, because that happens when people are being abused in a relationship, they say. So her being there with him doesn't basically let me think that they're in a good space. What I'm looking at is the man's actions. He said all of that apology to Facebook friends, but behind closed doors, he sent me a threat of a lawsuit. So what should I believe? His apology to Facebook friends publicly, or what he did privately in my email? What he did privately to Dean? Which one should I believe? His words or his actions? I'm more inclined to believe what his words were and his actions. And his words were, I will blow your effing head off. That was the word that he told a woman, and his words were to me, I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. I'm just giving you a heads up. If you're listening, Floyd Sr., and let me take my glasses off so he can hear me, and whoever else knows him, send this to him. If you really was going to file a lawsuit, brother, how about you send your attorney to send me a cease and desist letter? How about we start there? Because there's no defamation over here. You don't have a case. I'm just saying, a cease and desist letter. But look at the super chat on your screen, and double salute to Prada Pierre. Thank you for the contribution and support to the channel. Pierre said, I wonder how that footage got out. Crazy. You know what, Pierre? I don't know how the footage got out. I don't know how the footage got out, because the person who sent it to me had nothing to do with the Scofields, don't have a relationship with the Scofields. But I will say this. It's intriguing to me, and I had to go back and analyze this myself, and even talking to a good friend of mine. The woman was sitting in a space where only that particular camera can show you all what was going to take place. Now, I'm not accusing a woman. I'm not accusing her of sitting there knowing how he was going to respond. But the bottom line is the footage has been leaked. So at this point, it don't even matter how we trace how it got out. I think that's Floyd Schofield Sr.'s responsibility of finding out how that tape leaked from his house. That's not my responsibility at this point. All I'm saying is that the footage is out. We saw what he did with our eyes. We heard what he said with our ears, and we saw what he said and heard what he said through his actions by threatening to file a lawsuit. That was a threat. Why? If you as a man was actually acknowledging your wrongdoing, whether it be privately or publicly, why would you file a lawsuit against somebody?
Exactly.
That's not showing humility at all.
And then Manager Marty saying that it happened at a time that, so if you're going to apologize, then don't be faulty in the apology saying it was 2 years ago, but in the video that you said was past tense, you did this in March 22. That was 2 years ago. He said that also. So that means that it can't possibly, you wasn't even sincere in your apology. You tried to save face because you didn't want people to think that this happened recently, where obviously it had to. Because then you didn't have enough time to get therapy and change so much as a person and all of this stuff that you talking about. And why would you have to change so much as a person if you saying that you've been raising your son to be a good man? You've been raising you did this. Kid Austin in that video, that was a grown man that came out of that room.
Yeah. That shit crazy. And I got daughters, so that shit makes it even more disturbing. Like, bruh.
Kid Austin is being traumatized, and he has been traumatized all his life around this guy.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to hit at. I'm like, even with the situation with his mother not being in his life, that's, man, even seeing that video, that rings red flags to me automatically. Was she on drugs? Because we never heard her come out and say that.
No, we don't know. That's just what he said. But he's not a credible guy. I mean,
Exactly.
think about his character real quick, right? So he going to threaten to blow a woman's head off, right? All I did was ask him to come up here and talk to me, right? He don't want to do it. Is that a real man or what? I'm just asking
Right.
a question. I mean,
Right.
these guys talk all this gangster guerrilla talk, and when it's time to stand up with 10 toes, they don't want to stand up under the pressure. That's
Right.
the issue I have with the guy, for real, for real. He going to threaten to file a lawsuit with me, cool. According to Rachel Donier, Tuesday's boxing, I'm broke anyway. So he ain't going to get nothing, Dean. All I'm saying is,
I'm broke, baby. I'm broke.
Huh?
I said I'm broke, baby. What Mekhi Phifer tell his uncle? I'm broke, baby.
All I wanted the guy to do was stand 10 toes down and come talk to me. You want to file a lawsuit? Fine. But until then, come talk to me man to man. Because you behind the scenes on an email. You behind the scenes threatening me on an email. Come talk to me right here, man to man. He didn't want to do that. So that's not showing me any character that he has. And guess who's going to suffer? His son.
But why? But that was why you think that though, Marty. That's what I'm saying. Like, what effect? Why you think it's gonna affect the fight? His son?
Because it was the shit was already released based around his son.
But it's not him though. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah,
so
I get you saying.
All right, so let me show you this, and I'm gonna get to these 2 super chats real quick, right? So Cassidy, the rapper, right? He said something very profound when him and Meek Mill were going at it in a rap beef, right? He said this about Meek Mill. He was telling him something. He said, "That's your case. They only know your face." In other words, is the people that's around these professional boxers, right? They have to be responsible for them, not just for themselves, but the people that's around them. When people around them do stuff, right? The boxer may not do it. The boxer may not say it, right? But when it attacks the credibility and the image of the fighter, it hurts the fighter. I'll give you an example. Who represents Kid Austin as a manager, as a trainer?
His father.
So his father does, right? So when Oscar De La Hoya, the promoter, wanted to go sponsor this kid, Kid Austin, and put him in a main event, and when people that got big time money, that Oscar De La Hoya, the promoter, is making an appeal to sponsor the fighter, get this fighter extra dollars, get this fighter marketing dollars to continue to advertise him, get this fighter in the big time fights. The first thing, I'm telling y'all this, and I'm going to tell y'all a true story. The first thing that the sponsors want to know is, if we put out this money, are there going to be any adverse effect on our image and our brand?
Yep.
And when they look at somebody who trains this fighter and who manages this fighter in Kid Austin, and they see this video circulating, companies don't want to be associated with any forms of domestic violence, okay?
At all.
And that hurts the fighter. I'm going to give you an example.
But let me say this real quick. I hear what you're saying, but I've still seen fighters that themselves have physically assaulted women still get sponsorships.
When?
Kid Austin didn't even do it.
When have they gotten it?
Ain't Shakur with Reebok?
Who?
Shakur Stevenson.
Ain't Shakur with Reebok?
I don't know.
He is. He's with Reebok. But 2 Cent, that's a different situation in the fact that.
But my point is he did it himself though. Kid Austin didn't even do it.
What I'm saying is that's not Floyd Schofield. What he did was unprovoked or any of that. Shakur was going at it with another man, and then they started scraping and scrambling. Then the woman got involved, and then they just throwing punches already. That's a whole different type situation. It's not the same thing, is what I'm saying.
It's much easier
to look past that than to look past somebody that did what he did on camera though. Like
Okay.
saying, I'm gonna blow your effing head off. It wasn't no other men involved. It was him and his girl in the kitchen. He came way across from the other side of the kitchen and did what it just publicly it looks bad. Now what Shakur did looked bad as well. But Shakur also, you got to remember this, Shakur also was not a 49, 50-year-old man either. We're
Right.
talking about years ago when he was 19, 20 years old or something like that. So we got to keep all of that in mind. It's a whole different, it was just a different situation. Now,
Right.
not saying what he did was right or wrong. What Shakur did was wrong too. And he got crucified for that as well.
if he detaches himself from his father, would that help or no?
Yes, I think it would.
So there's two things, 2 Cent. I'm not just talking about money when I talk about the best interests of fighters. I'm talking about their mental health, their physical health, and their emotional health. And really, when you really like strip all the nuts and bolts out, because a company, like you talked about Shakur being with Reebok, right? A company can sponsor who they want, is their money. I'm just talking about the hoops that the promotion, the hoops that the representation have to go through to get it done, right? So going back to the emotional and psychological effect, I like talking about the stuff beneath the surface that no other person usually talks about. So that's really where I'm getting at when I'm talking about with Kid Austin. Okay, fine. If we get a sponsor on top of this, that's great for him. But looking at how this affects him psychologically, how this affects him emotionally, all of that come into play in a fighter's life. And as a boxing manager, I see more fighters crying behind the scenes than anybody else. And people don't see it because all they do is they train and they entertain. And nobody see when these fighters are going through so many personal issues that really affect how they train, how they stay focused mentally. There's a lot of stuff that go into it. So that's really the part where I'm coming from in this whole thing. Whether he gets sponsorship.
Hey, I hate to cut you off. I just wanted to say, yo, I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to clock out for work. I got to go pick up my daughter, go spend some time with my baby girl. So y'all keep cooking. Manager Marty, I appreciate you speaking on this situation. And yeah, man, we need answers. Y'all roll the tape. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all hitting that super chat and the whole nine. Manager Marty, you already know, man. I appreciate you. 2 Cent. Pay. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know that. Y'all be good. All right.
Peace out. So you think Kid Austin is a victim of the abuse too?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If not physical, definitely emotional and psychological. No question about it. No question about it.
At all.
But I'm not diagnosing them because I don't know. That's just my healthy opinion based on my knowledge, based on my experience, and based on other training. I'm just telling you what I think. But I could be wrong. But yes. And one of the things that I looked at is if you look at the interviews of and y'all can go back and look. The interviews that Kid Austin do while his father is sitting next to him. Look at his body language.
Yeah.
His father's dominating the whole conversation.
Absolutely.
When I see Kid Austin in these interviews and his father's there, like I see the changes in his dialogue. I see the changes in his body language, right? And I also see something else that reminds me of when Mike Tyson, and I said this before you got on 2 Cents, Mike Tyson was sitting next to Robin Gibbons when she was being interviewed by Barbara Walters. This is back in the 90s. And she talked about how physically abused she's being by Mike Tyson hitting her. And she diagnosed him as manic depressive, and also talked about how he has psychologically abused her. He threw her against threw her against the wall and all of these things. But if you look at the body language of Mike Tyson, right? Mike Tyson, and this is before any information came out. Now, of course, this is 20, 30 years later. We see what really happened because everything became public. Mike Tyson was the actual victim. Mike Tyson was the victim of abuse, not the other way around. And Mike Tyson's body language, he never opened his mouth. And these are classic signs of abuse. And I just see how Kid Schofield, Kid Austin, I'm watching his body language when he's in the presence of his father, when he do these interviews. I'm looking dead at him. And so I'm not here to diagnose him, but we saw what we saw in this video. What Floyd Sr. did was inexcusable. And of course, everybody's going to speak on it. I mean, what else did he think was going to happen? And instead of him being a man and saying, hey, this is really what happened. I apologize because it's going to affect the reputation of my son. He never publicly apologized to the one who is going to affect the most beside the woman, and that's Kid Austin, his son. And his son was standing right there at the time his father threw that woman to the ground.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That shit that's crazy, man. And I see the same thing that you see as well, Marty, when he's doing interviews. Always find Kid Austin not really focused on. He like always looks down, like in the interviews while his father is talking. He's always looking down. I just feel like there was a lot of abuse when it came to him as well, bro. Like I kind of saw that as well. So I'm glad you actually pointed that out because I did notice that even with a recent interview with Mill City, he also said that his dad tends to talk to his friends as if they're his kids as well. So I think that's an ongoing behavior, man. That's an ongoing behavior. Maybe he getting help.
Yeah, and we see a lot of these fathers who come into the game with their sons. They bring them up the right way through the amateur ranking, but I believe somewhere in between that, the money and the opportunities that the fathers will get, they start looking at this like, hey, my son is going to be the meal ticket for this family.
Right.
And their sons have to sacrifice their childhood. This is what Floyd Sr. said. I did a video on this. He said it in the interview that he did not allow his son to have a childhood because he wanted his son to basically be the breadwinner of the family because they were homeless. His son was 8 years old in the amateurs and all the pressure that's on his son. Because check this out. His son wasn't living in his own house.
Why he be the breadwinner for his family? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what he said. I did the video on this a couple weeks ago, too, since it's on my channel. I pulled up the words and everything that he said. And that wasn't right. And you see right now, like for instance, Floyd Schofield Sr. is living in the same house as his son. His son a grown man at this point, and his son is the one that's making and earning the money. Why his son can't have his own place right now?
Right. And
why these fathers keep dominating the checkbook and the bank account of these sons when they grown? That's what I'm trying to figure out. This keeps happening over and over in boxing.
And then not even only that though, even with the situation dealing with him in his damn Twitter, like what is the reason for you to be running your son's Twitter, bro? Like that's why I said 2 Cent. This is why Kid Schofield is going to get the backlash because his face is attached to his page. So when his father come on there saying disrespectful stuff, who you think they looking at? They don't know if they talking again. They don't know if they talking to his son or if they talking to the father when he's making these public statements.
Yeah, it's weird. That's like super controlling.
Yeah, and that was a red flag. That's what I'm trying to look at. Like that's damn near a red flag, bro. Like you a grown, get your own Twitter, bro.
I think the difference is too the other fighters. I noticed because it's a lot of father-son toxic relationships in boxing. It's almost like it's damn near a characteristic, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I noticed some of them they'll stand up to their father or say something to their father. Like T.O., his dad be tripping, but he'll be like, "Hey, T.O. will say something." Or I don't know as much as Devin though. I've never really seen
Devin speak on his father.
And then even along the way, when people's going through that like mental abuse, like you can poison a kid's mind to make them feel a certain way towards the other parent, even if the situation didn't work out how you thought it should work out. But you use that situation to your advantage now because you're raising the kid. So you can really tell this kid, hey, your mother was on drugs. She didn't care about you. She left you here, and there, and stuff like that. Like, bro, man, I just think dog just got a lot of controlling behavior, bro. Like, he don't give his son enough like spotlight for himself, like for him to get exposure. Like, I can understand promoting, but man, I don't know, bro.
So if it was a possibility of the fight happening with him and Shakur, do you think that this would affect that?
No. I don't think.
Because I think it's almost kind of being seen like somebody released this tape to affect that fight, and that's why I was like, well, why would that affect the fight? Like I couldn't really, because there was a reason or an agenda why this tape was released, and I'm just curious what that could be.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm a type of guy like this though, 2 Cent. No answer is good enough. Let's say he was beefing with a content creator that he was cool with, because that's the from what from what I'm gathering from this, based on what Schofield Sr said about he was cool with Coach Malachi, and then people telling me that somebody sent Coach Malachi the video because Coach Malachi was his friend. It was all up in his house and all that. I don't get involved in all that, but let's say all that was true though, right? My thing is, okay, it's out now. Floyd
Yeah.
Schofield Sr is the one that have to investigate the when, where, and how, and why the video leaked from his house. That's his
Right.
responsibility. Once the
True.
video leaked, we're not investigators. It's
Right.
not our responsibility to see. I'm not saying we should be curious of why, because I even asked myself, well, dang, how did this video even
What's
get out?
this a miss? Yeah, I was just trying to see if this is because you know how sometimes people don't want fights, like they'll do stuff like this.
Now, this thing,
you know?
let me tell you something. This right here, and then this is no disrespect to Kid Austin. He's not big enough for a conspiracy against him right now.
Yeah.
If anybody thinks this is like a conspiracy to try to halt a fight, De La Hoya was not going to let this fight happen between Kid Schofield or Kid Austin and Shakur. I said that 2 weeks ago when I did a video asking the question of who do you think Oscar De La Hoya would rather benefit from to fight Shakur Stevenson, Kid Austin or Zepeda? And the answer is Kid Austin is not in world championship contention. He is a prospect. So we can't say it's him. Obviously, the guy who have a whole country behind him, who just fought in Williams Zepeda, that's the guy who's going to generate more income and revenue for a fight with Shakur Stevenson opposed to Kid Austin from a promoter standpoint, right?
But Zepeda's hurt though, so I think they just trying to find a tune-up for Shakur. That's what I think.
Yeah, but if Shakur dominate Kid Austin and box him and box circles around him and embarrass him, which I think he probably would right now with the level of experience that Kid Austin lacked, it's going to lose a lot of star power for Kid Austin.
But Auntie Sco want that bag. Manager Marty, he don't
But he
care
keeps
about
saying,
that.
and that's where the contradicting lies, because he said it's not even about the bag. He
He's
said
lying.
win or lose, he said that exposure for his son.
He lying. If he wanted exposure for his son, he would stop doing all the talking and let his son interview.
Exactly. Salute y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate you, Manager Marty. Salute to you. 2 Cent. Y'all be smooth.
Peace out.
Salute, big dog. Appreciate you. Let me get these super chats real quick. 2 Cent. Prada Pierre, double salute to you again. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Prada says, Senior seems to have a Napoleon complex. Really? 100 was the emoji. Thanks again for that. And my God, Smooth Criminal, double salute to you, Smooth Criminal. Thank you for your support and contribution to the channel. Smooth Criminal says in the super chat, I've been noticed Junior's body language around him. And he's referring to what I was saying about Kid Austin's body language around his dad when they're sitting side by side in the house. Excuse me, when they're doing these virtual interviews. Big Dog Willie, double salute to you, Big Dog Willie. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Big Dog Willie says in the super chat, Manager Marty, you need to be careful with the 4 Caps Kings of the Apocalypse. T.O. Sr., Norman Sr., Bill Haney will retaliate in capping fashion. Be careful. Big Dog Willie, thank you again. And yes, I will be careful by all the fathers that you mentioned that's basically dominating their son's career and trying to get the spotlight. I'm very careful of that. And here's the thing, Big Dog Willie, none of them, I don't know why, won't come over here and talk to me. None of them. None of them. None of the, you call them the 4 Caps Kings of the Apocalypse? None of these dads. And I've basically been very vocal on, you know, these dads dominating their careers in the spotlight of their sons. And they've seen their names in my titles. And I'm just saying, let's have a conversation. None of them have come over here yet. I love to talk to all of them because I have some questions I want to ask them. Thank you again on that. Boxing Hacker, double salute. My God, Boxing Hacker. Thank you, man, for your support and contribution. Boxing Hacker says in the super chat, Kid Austin Sr. has been tweaking for a while. I think the day Kid Austin loses in that ring, Austin Sr. is going to lose it in that ring. He's nasty work. Well, if you look at how when these sons lose their fights, when the fathers are dominating their checking account and they're dominating their careers and they're dominating their time that they spend outside of boxing, you'll see every time they lose, right? The fathers, and I'm not talking about all the fathers, I'm talking about the ones who see their sons as meal tickets. You look at how they respond when their son loses. Look at their behavior patterns. When their son loses, look at their behavior patterns. When the bag seemingly is, starting to dwindle it away from them after a loss. So it goes to show you what their intentions are. I mean, and this basically sad. Double salute again to Prada Pierre. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the chat again, Prada. Prada says in the super chat, I'd rather watch Shakur versus Muratalo than Kid Austin. That'll be a good fight. I thought that was going to be a fight that was going to come up next for Shakur instead of a Kid Austin. That's just what I thought. And I already knew that Zepeda was going to fight Tevin Former, so I didn't expect Shakur to get that fight, soon. But now that Zepeda's, I think they're saying he's got an injury now. So if he's going to fight Shakur, that's probably going to be a long ways from now, sometime in 2025, hopefully. What's your take on that as far as Shakur versus Muratalo than Kid Austin, 2 cents?
Is Muratalo with Bob?
I think he is.
Yeah, and I just feel like if Bob didn't make the fight when he was with Top Rank, he definitely not gonna make it now.
Especially with Shakur not with him, huh?
Yeah, that's why I don't understand what Shakur. It's like Shakur went to Eddie to make cross promotional fights. If you want to fight Kid Austin and you want to fight Zepeda, they with Oscar. If you want to fight Muratalo and you want to fight Loma, they with Bob. So I don't know. I'm just sitting back and watching what's going on because I don't know. I just feel like that was a weird move. I just want to see how it play out.
Yeah, we definitely will see. And I will say this because I was going to tie, Boots and Virgil Ortiz in it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to table that until tomorrow's live because I don't want people to get lost in translation. We was here for an hour and a half. So Boots versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Boots allegedly ducking Virgil Ortiz. We're going to get to that tomorrow live and live in color right here between 4:30, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Please come back to the live. We're going to talk about that. I got a lot of things I want to say on that. Whether or not Boots duck Virgil Ortiz, we need to talk about that. We're going to talk about that live. What I want to do now is I'm going to turn my camera off. 2 Cents Boxing, if you would be so gracious and kind enough to be able to close us out, your last 30 seconds, and it's all on you. And I'm out of here. Thanks again for joining us, 2 Cents.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. No, thank everybody for joining us. Come back tomorrow so we can have a conversation about the Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz thing. I think that's an interesting conversation to have. A lot of people have been talking about that. A lot of people got different opinions about that. So shout out to everybody for coming by today. See y'all tomorrow. Manager Marty, roll the tape.